Guys, I'm so excited! I can finally do the raw taco meat recipe. This recipe I've gotten asked for more than probably any other recipe, and I've waited to do it because my food processor blade has been recalled forever, and I finally got it in the mail this past week. Like, I shrieked like a girl when I got it, and meaning that I shamelessly screamed at the top of my lungs, and I may have shed a tear or two. It was so happy. So I have my food processor. So I'm going to show you how to make this with a food processor, and then because I had to make it so many times without a food processor, I will show you or tell you at least how to make it without one. Because I know that for me, I know other people don't have food processors and have to deal with just blenders. So I will show you how to do it. So here is how you make the raw taco meat. It is so tasty and it adds the best flavor to your raw salad. If you're trying to do like a taco salad, I don't know, when I do a taco salad, like I usually have, before I went vegan, you always had your lettuce and your like your meat and cheese and beans, right? And then your vegetables, which now it's just all vegetables. And so I kind of miss like that feel of something like chewy and hearty and savory, and this really fits the bill for that. And so what you're going to do, it's kind of a three-step process, okay, so that you get the right texture, because you don't want to make a cracker. If you just throw it all in the food processor and puree it, you're going to end up with a cracker instead of like a crumbly type of meat. So you're going to put your dry ingredients in the food processor first. And that would be, I wrote it down so I don't forget, it's going to be your dates, your walnuts, your sun-dried tomatoes, your dehydrated mushrooms, and then all the seasonings, okay? So you put all the dry stuff in the food processor, and you're going to turn it on and just make it like a powder, essentially. It doesn't have to be super fine, but it does need to be, ground up like a powder. And then after you get your powdery mixture, and you should try that, like just taste it. It is so yummy. I seriously think you could just like put that over a salad as a sprinkle. It is so good. So let me quick show you the pictures for what you put in with the amounts and what it looks like, and then I'll explain to you the next step. Okay, so the next step, you're going to add your wet vegetables. So you're going to add your celery, your carrot, zucchini, onion, and a little slice of lemon, okay? And you want to kind of like roughly chop these things before you put them in the food processor, because you don't want it to puree forever long. You want to just kind of pulse it and get it like mixed in, but not pureed, okay? So if you start with it kind of coarsely chopped, it helps get the right texture better. So let me show you what it looks like after you kind of incorporate it and kind of the texture you're going for. Okay, so after you get that texture, then you're going to add about 4 kind of more finely chopped Roma tomatoes. So you don't want, you're just going to barely pulse these in, okay? Because tomatoes, they're going to turn into liquid and they're going to make it really sloppy. So you just want to barely get them in, okay? So you're just going to zip, 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 just a few times just to get it mixed in. So let me show you what it looks like after you do that. All right, so now that you've got all the stuff mixed in, what you do is you just take a little spoonful, okay, and you just flick like this, you just whack it on your little dehydrator trays. They do not need to be lined. It should be thick enough that it's not gonna make a mess, okay? So you're just gonna like do little dollops all over your dehydrator tray, and then you're going to put it in your dehydrator at, I would do it between 95 degrees and 115 degrees. When you do the meat, you don't want it to be hard and really dehydrated, okay? You just want it to be chewy. So in order to do that, if you do it at a lower temperature, you're going to get more of a chewy existence rather than a crispy existence. If you do it too long, it will be, as Jerry says, like Legos in your mouth. Like when you step on a Lego, you know, when you chew on it, it's going to rip your gums apart is what it's going to do. And if you don't know who Jerry is, you just need to look her up on YouTube. It's Gerawlee, Gerawlee. She's hilarious, and she has some awesome recipes. She's also just fun to watch on her weight loss journey. So little shout out to Jerry because I love her so much. So anyway, yeah, don't dehydrate too long because it's going to kill your mouth. Okay. So I did mine overnight, and overnight, you know, from about 2 p.m. till about 10 the next morning was a little bit too long. And I had it at 115. So I would say 95, and overnight should probably be fine. Okay. Because usually when I make this, I end up eating it that night, and then I have some the next day after it's dehydrated overnight. So the first day it's too moist, and then the next day it was too dry. It's just right in the middle is where you want it. So you want it to be kind of like not crispy on the outside, but dried on the outside and then moist on the inside. Or not moist, but you know, like not dehydrated. Do you get what I'm saying? So these make, oh, let me quick show you. Sorry, let me show you the picture of what it looks like before you dehydrate it when you put it on the tray, and then I'll show you after. Okay, on the taco meat, if you're going to do it in a blender, okay, so you're going to follow the same concept where you put in all the dry ingredients into your blender, into your dry blender first. Make sure there's no leftover water from doing a green smoothie or something, okay? So get it dry, put in the dry ingredients, make the powder like I said, but then dump it into a separate bowl, okay? So clear out your blender, put it in a separate bowl. Then you're going to do, you're going to like coarsely chop the vegetables again, except for the tomatoes. Put them in and just kind of try to pulse it. Don't puree them. Don't make a juice, okay? You want them chunky. So you're just going to kind of pulse it a few times to get the chunky existence of the vegetables. And you're going to pour that into the bowl with the powder, you know, the previous dry mix powder. And you're going to stir that up. And then you're going to finely chop by hand the tomatoes. And so this is where it's a little more tedious because you got to like finely chop all the tomatoes, okay? And then you're going to put that in the bowl, and then you mix it all by hand. So when you do it with the blender that way, it gives you similar texture. It's a little bit chunkier than when you do it in the food processor, but it's still really tasty. I've done it that way many times, and it's really good. You also can mix out your walnuts for hemp seeds. I have done it with hemp seeds. It's still good. Okay, I just love walnuts, so I think walnuts are just the best in it. But I also want to try making it with flaxseed. So I'm going to be experimenting with that and see how that goes. That is your raw taco meat. Now, sometimes what I do when I do my taco salad, you know, guacamole is kind of a favorite when you do taco salad. And so oftentimes I will make a no-fat guacamole, which I know sounds weird, but it's like basically a green dressing that's creamy and tastes like guacamole. It has the same seasonings. And I will put that over my salad. I don't want to mix too much fat because the taco meat has fat. Doesn't have all my fat for the day if I only use a portion of the recipe, but still you got to be mindful of your fats. Another thing that I love to do besides the no-fat guacamole is just to do a pineapple drizzle. When we do taco salad, we always have pineapple on it, and I don't know why, but it's so yummy. So sometimes I will do that. I will just blend some pineapple with water, just a teeny bit of water, and I will drizzle that over my salad, and it just gives you the perfect mix of just savory and sweet. It is so good. So you really should try that. So that is the raw taco meat recipe. I hope you guys try it and love it as much as I do. If you want me to do a video on the fat-free guacamole, just put it in the comments below and I will try to do that for you. So anyway, have a great day, guys. We will talk to you later.